G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the north side of the map, playing in the colour red as the Delhi Sultanate. It's Leenock, and on the south side of the map, playing in the colour purple as the English. It's Liquid to Muslim. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. We're here on the ranked ladder in preparation for the pup. Obviously, you guys would be well and truly aware by this point that the pup is coming the 17th of January. If you haven't already, set your alarms. Make sure you drop it in your schedules because stop everything. It is time to go. That is exactly it. So I'm looking forward to the pup. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to the pup as well. But let's talk a little bit more about this game because we've got ourselves a pretty cool matchup. English versus the Delhi. It's a question so much as, is the English going to be able to survive against the Delhi Death Push? Because the Delhi Death Push, it comes at a bit of an awkward time. Often we see the Delhi Death Push, you know, normally what you can expect to see in a matchup like this is that there's going to be aggression coming out from both civs in the Feudal Age. The Muslim's going to try and deny the sacred sites away from Leenock, and Leenock's going to do his best to try and keep them, as many as he can at least, hoping that he can have at the very least two. Two is going to put him in a great position. And then he's going to try and look to take out the English player before they reach the castle edge. That's going to be the key distinction here in this matchup, because normally when you're playing as the English, you've got a couple of options as to how you can play this matchup. Early men-at-arms going to be coming through here. So the Muslim could look to play 2 TC, but if you do that, you're going to be in a very difficult spot come that push. If you play for 1 TC, it is possible, it's viable, and it gives you a little bit more versatility. Now, he's being very bold and just moving into potential town center range at any second, and Leenock could just throw all of his villagers inside the TC, but he fortunately does spot the town center out there, and now begins to look for that gold. Where is it? Give me that gold. Is that the gold right there? It could be the gold right there. Nope, it's not the gold. So he's looking for the gold at the moment, but yeah, I think that it's definitely a bit of a difficult matchup for the English. I think it's probably one of their worst matchups because just simply that timing for the Delhi is, you know, like if we were to look at power spike levels, like the Delhi Sultanate quite literally rises up right when the English are at their weakest point in that transition. They normally do beat out the English on the transition quite often. Men-at-arms coming around, though. We do see that there is a mill up already for Leenock. No real surprise there. Men-at-arms was about to be very bold. Scout was thinking about doing the same thing. Fortunately, no sheep underneath the town center. It looks like they're all away. We do see it's going to be a Dome of the Faith coming down here. So villagers managing to get all the gold that they need. And now that Men-at-arms is going to slowly work down that mining camp. Looks like he's just got it on hold position for the moment. Yeah, you can see right there, standing the ground. Back towards the base, though. And look at this, the Muslim barely even behind. This is the thing about the English men-at-arms, right? Like 1 men-at-arms, early barracks, just a beautiful stuff. And the thing is, you're going to be using this barracks. Once you age up, you're still going to be using this barracks. So I do like it. Council Hall coming down as well for the Muslim. Maintains 2 villages on gold. So might be looking for some upgrades upon age up. You could be looking at things like the broadaxe, maybe some wheelbarrow potentially. But it's a slow trickle of gold. It's not a super fast trickle of gold. But we do see, towards this north side of the map, slowly that Dome of the Faith comes up. Now, when the Dome of the Faith is picked, or when it's constructed, we should say, when it's constructed by a Delhi player, normally that means that they're going to be looking to play a cavalry opening or a cavalry style. And the reason why is because the Dome of the Faith produces units, or produces the scholars at a cheaper cost, but at the same time you don't get the Tower of Victory bonus, which increases the attack speed of infantry, infantry being the key word there. So if someone opens the Tower of Victory, you can expect that they're going to be looking to make infantry. Now, we do see the odd player like Salami who opens the Tower of Victory and then starts making cavalry. Classic Salami move. But doesn't look like it's going to be the case here today. I suspect we're probably going to see maybe an archery range thrown down. Maybe a stable thrown down. Something like that. Should be pretty standard on the opening. He's got 150 wood now. Could also look for an early barracks, but it is going to be an early stable that gets thrown down. Oh, sorry, an early blacksmith is what I wanted to say there. But he does go for an early stable, so no real surprises there. We did expect this with the Dome of the Faith coming through. And a little bit of trouble here at the moment. The mining camp, obviously under pressure from this men-at-arms. Now the Scholar's going to jump inside, and this is going to be some very, very quick horsemen. You can see 11 seconds on each of these horsemen. Super quick. Riding on board now. Back in the base of Decisive, and he's actually added in farms, gone for that wheelbarrow as well. We talked about it, added another villager onto gold, so do expect to see plenty of it trickling in. And the first of the horsemen makes its way in and begins the slow and steady smashing towards that English men-at-arms. Look how much damage it takes. Though, I tell you what, those men-at-arms, they are formidable, aren't they? Does also spot the blacksmith coming down, so an investment into tech is going to be coming through. Jeez, he took some damage there, didn't he? But you know what? He's got a scholar. He's not too concerned. So far, so good by both of these players. Everything's going to pretty standard at this point. Riding on board with the Muslim, it looks like he's going to stick it out with one base as well, which is definitely the right choice. You would want to avoid going for that second town center, just because if you do, you're just so heavily invested in your economy, and the likelihood that the Delhi player will kill you is nearing, 90%. You've got to pull off a miracle if you want to somehow do that. I could probably justify like a 2 TC into White Castle play, but even then, you're just going to die to Trebs. You're just going to die to 3 Sacred Sites and 5 relics being taken away on the map. So you got to be very careful with how you play. But we do see Leenock looking to play pretty aggressive cavalry style. Still no archery range just yet getting thrown down. He's going to go for a double blacksmith as well. Ranged armor coming through. Iron undermesh, of course. Now, just to note, the Delhi upgrades that you see in the top right-hand corner won't come through. These guys are bugged. They're still bugged. They've been bugged for years. They've been bugged for months. They are still bugged. But towards the base of Muslim, though. We see his military comp is starting to look a little bit interesting. He's going for a tri-comp here. And I do like this. I think if you're playing against the Delhi, going for the men-at-arms does really make a lot of sense. And Demo ever cognizant of the fact there's a raid coming from behind his base. I love the fact that he's got the scout here. Just looking to scout out exactly what his enemy's up to. Because he knows exactly what the plan is, okay? So for anybody who's unfamiliar with the plan of Delhi, let me tell you the way that it works. You've got one window. Late Feudal Age to early Castle Age. That's pretty much it. So the goal of Delhi, get out those early units, get aggressive, secure the sacred sites, age up to the Castle Age, pick up the relics, make lots of units, and eventually drop a keep on your opponent's face. Try and push before they hit the Castle Age, and before they get those upgrades, and strike them with almost a bit of a counter-strike. Because the idea is that you want to try and get in there before they get those upgrades. And that's how you really hurt them. Now those men-at-arms together with the longbow is going to be moving towards this western side. 2 sacred sites over here. It's going to be a primary position there for him. Triple Scholar is going to be moving out here as well. The Muslim obviously played this matchup many a time before. We see the Scholars actually rallied towards the relic, but I assure you, they've got other intentions. And the Muslim looking to challenge. He knows exactly what is up right here. Man-at-arms going to be moving through. Together with the longbows on the backside. And going to be forcing back the Delhi player. Looks like we've already got Sanctity through. Sanctity is the upgrade that's going to enable you to capture the sacred site in the second age. But interestingly, we don't see a single scholar on that eastern site, on that western site, nothing at all. Instead, the focus is going to be all on this center. And one of those scholars actually going to get picked off there. Longbow's doing a very decent job. Not a lot of spearmen here. And he's losing scholars very quickly, but these horsemen should be on the back line, and finally they join the back line. Scholars still getting focused down, doing a very decent job, but it's looking like Leenock might be in a pretty good position to clean up here. Main thing he's got to worry about are those men-at-arms, and you can just see how much damage they're able to dish on the back line of the archers. So archers pretty much non-existent at this point, and now the Muslim, he's going to be able to force back Leenock away from this position. And Leenock's going to start asking that question. All right, well, maybe we should start thinking about the other sacred sites. Interestingly, had he just gone for all 3 sacred sites, I'm a big fan of sending 3 scholars to 3 separate sacred sites. It just really forces the enemy. And it's a bit of a gamble, but at the same time, if your enemy doesn't have a unit there to stop it, you just get some free sacred sites. Interesting little animations coming through there from the horsemen. But great job just cleaning up the ranged units here. Taking out all the longbows, trying to get out of there, trying to escape with 7 health. He looks like he will be able to do it. And we'll ride on board now with the Muslim as he adds in his second ring of farms around the mill. Not going with the 10 farms or 12 farms that you can sometimes put here in these arrangements. Just going to go with the stock 8. And I'm a big fan of this. It just makes it so much easier for your base building. You know, he's going to be able to put his landmark right here. It's a very safe spot. I mean, you can always go for somewhere, you know, like over here or maybe forward on this position, but it's just a very nice spot right back here. Sacred site being neutralized now on this eastern side. Units moving over as well just to confirm that it's happening. Interestingly, Leenock only playing with the one sacred site and still managing to get the age up through at a decent time here. So we do see it's going to be the House of Learning that he's looking to play with as well. So Leenock definitely playing with a bit of an old school Delhi style here. It's not something that we do often see anymore. It's typically in favor of the Compound of the Defender. That's the main thing that people are looking for. Compound of the Defender. A lot of aggressive keeps are what people are focusing on. Leenock, though, not going to be doing that. Instead, just going to be sticking to the old faithful, old trusty, old faithful. So I suspect we're going to see a lot of barracks come down. Actually, barracks are kind of dangerous against the English. Actually, you know what? I think barracks should be fine. It's either barracks or stables, that's for sure. And it's going to be knights or men-at-arms. Take your pick, whichever one it is. But that's what's going to be coming up shortly. He's already got the second stable. Actually, he could just be going double stable production of lancers. Villagers up towards that east side, though. Going to be running for their dear life. This is not good news right now for Leenock. These villagers, most likely all of them will go down. But if there's one good thing about this, there is the potential that he could catch the army off guard. 4 lancers out over on that position will do an insanely good amount of work. But now horsemen underneath the town center. Going to have to run back. He's picked off a couple of villagers here. Oh, well, I say a couple of villagers. He's picked off 1 worker. Not terrible. Still getting chased away, leading away the enemy army. Could catch him out in a bad position. 2 lancers in queue at the moment. Couple more ready to go. Only takes 17 seconds to get those bad boys out. No sacred sites captured at the moment for Leenock. The no sacred site Delhi. No relics being captured either. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 relics on the map. So Leenock's Delhi definitely leaving a little bit to be desired at this point in time. Look at the men-at-arms. So much faster than those longbows. 1.44 movement speed. They're really going for a good run. Look at the length of the map that he's actually gone for here. And now Leenock might actually catch him out. We can see these knights moving across the map. So just when you thought the villagers were the right call, all of a sudden we've got someone who might be in a little bit of trouble, because this is 14 units. This is a lot of the army right here. And I think he still knows that it's over there. More archers going to be moving down. I don't know whether he's searching for it or not, though. That's the thing. I suspect he is. I suspect he's looking for it. But the difficult spot, and there you can see the King's Palace coming down. The difficult thing that we might have happening is that strike that we were talking about. And now we enter into the cinematic mode, because the horsemen, together with the knights, looking intent to come in underneath the town center. The question's going to be, where are the rest of those armies, or the rest of the army here for Demulson? But it's not even going to matter at this point, because the knights are just going to eat it alive. When you've got this number of cavalry units, Wallalol going to be happening somewhere over towards this northern side. There we go. It's going to just capture a men-at-arms. He might need to delete it. Doesn't delete it. Let's get back over to the base while we quickly can. No, we don't have any mini-maps, so we've got no idea where it was happening. I just got to play it by ear. But you can see the timing on this has just been absolutely impeccable by Leenock. Right as the age up's coming in, exactly how he mentioned. Hits that strike right on time. This is the counter to the English. This is beautifully played right here. If you're dealing with a lot of English players on the ladder right now, just come play the Delhi. Just come play the Delhi. Do what Leenock did. He had 1 sacred site, and still he's managed to clean up. And he had the sacred site for like 60 seconds, and still he's able to just clean up the English players so easily. It's just something that works so well against them. And still those lancers. Look at the lancers. Villager kills coming through as well. We'll take off the cinematic mode. How many worker kills has he gone from? He was on 1 worker kill. Now he's up to 9 worker kills. And behind the base of the Muslim, we've got Leenock just being very sneaky. More lancers coming in, and this is what makes it so damn difficult to deal with this Delhi timing push. It's these lancers constantly coming in from all angles. Look, the longbow's trying their best to deal with it. That extra armor is just going to take it so far. Now, the second wave coming through. More lancers on the way. Oh, the Muslim not in the best position. Second town center is out. But you just know that the the units underneath the town center. And look at the unit count at the moment as well. He's down to nine military units. And remember that his enemy's on 17, but he's got knights. And that's definitely a big difference maker. Another knight, another knight, another knight. There are a lot of knights on the way right now. We've got villagers moving across the map. Is he thinking about? No, he's just thinking about berries for the moment. Looking to draw on the experience of these men-at-arms, trying to get them upgraded. He's gone into just the standard veteran men-at-arms, or as they're called in the Castle Age, men-at-arms. Because you've got the Vanguard men-at-arms, the early men-at-arms, the men-at-arms, and then the elite men-at-arms. Scholar trying to pull those relics back, doing a decent job. But the knights obviously just countering that so well. Spears trying their best to make it to the front, but a lack of barracks is really going to hurt the Muslim here. Obviously, the economy is idled out the wazoo, and he's down a few villagers. Lee Nock absolutely nailing that timing. That was textbook stuff coming out there, right there from Lee Nock. Beautiful stuff. And now look at this. Into the House of Learning. The Own Blade's going to be coming through. 2 seconds to go. 1 second to go. An extra 3 damage now. Going to be able to cut through that extra armor cladding of the men-at-arms. 2 armor. Going to be completely negated. Also get an additional damage point over the top of it. So very, very nice interaction there. And Lee Nock not even looking for a keep. He's just going to try and end the game with knights. Look at the way that he's playing this as well. And remember, these spearmen that are here, these are hardened spearmen, but no veterancy coming through just yet. Another knight raid on the backside. Lee Nock just all over the place right now. Just absolutely styling over the Muslim. Trying his best to keep himself in the game. But at the same time, I mean, you've got 2 town centers, but you're on a 22 villager deficit. So even if you don't lose any villagers from here, it's going to take you until your enemy's on 75 villagers before you guys reach parity. And that's assuming that you don't lose any more villagers. We've got no walls up. Not a whole lot of units either. And I think from here, Lee Nock is just in a very solid spot and going to be moving into Crossbow Knight. Honestly, one of my favorite, probably, if not my favorite, composition. I love this composition. It feels really, really good. It's almost as good as Crossbow Spear. It's just such a deadly comp with those knights. And beautiful charge coming in, hitting the front line. Those spears unable to draw their palings. I don't know what you'd call it. I guess you'd call it their spear war, wouldn't you? And good game gets called. The Muslim going to be tapping out. Absolute clinical stuff right there from Lee Nock. A single sacred site, and that's all he needs. And he does it perfectly. Absolutely wonderful timing right there. Fellas, go check out Lee Nock. Go check out the Muslim. I'll leave links in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.